Absa contactless cards, another innovation that's turning banking on its head. Now, you can make fast, easy and safe contactless payments for everyday items. That's Africanacity. That's Absa.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Welcome. Cherished viewers, welcome to another episode of the NSMQ Review Show. My name is Isaac Kwejo Crane, your host. Today is the first into the quarterfinals of the NSMQ 2022, and so we shall review all the contests that have taken place so far. I am joined by Angeli Ratud. Is that the correct name? Yes. Angeli Ratud is a former contestant of Tamale SHS 2019, and Eddie Sechere, who is a social media team member at Primetime. Before we start our discussion, I'd like to remind you that the 2022 edition of the National Science and Maths Quiz is proudly sponsored by the Ghana Education Service in partnership with Absa Bank and supported by Joy News, Well, Prudential Life Insurance Ghana, Airtel Tigo, Dano Milk, Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, Newmont Ghana, Academy City University College, Accra College of Medicine, YFM, and Studio HD. This is a Primetime production. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Angeli, yeah, how has the program been for you so far?
It's been full of shock prizes.
It's been full of what? Shock prizes. Eddie, how has the program been for you so far?
I think that it's been what we've been expecting in the science and maths quiz, most importantly. And so I won't say I've been shocked. I'll just say that it is what we've been anticipating as part of the National Science and Maths quiz. And that's what we are here for. The thrills, the shocks, the surprises. Every school putting up their more than 100% and all that. So I think that is what we've been expecting. And I'm happy for that, yeah.
Okay. Take us into the 1A stage. Which of the contests was so, mesmerizing for you?
I think the contest that we all were looking at was the Prempeh Quinas.
Prempeh Quinas.
Yes, and then eventually Prempeh won. I think that moving from that period, I think the other one also was the St. Peter's St. James Seminary contest. Eventually, St. James won. So I think these two were more like my highlights from the 1/8. Yeah.
Okay. Anjali, take us to the 1/8 stage.
I would also see the Prempeh Quinas one because everybody was waiting to see if the reigning champions are going home or not. And then, yeah, the Pesco one too was quite a shocker as well.
Did you give St. St. Thomas Aquinas so much anticipation that they would do well?
I mean, of course, looking at their prelims score, 85, the highest ever, there were lots of expectations, but don't really know what happened that day.
Okay. Eddie, what about you? St. Thomas Aquinas?
And I think that we expected them to do well, but eventually their journey was cut short by Prempeh. And so, more importantly, if they had gone further into the quarterfinals, then we can have a discussion on them. But unfortunately, because they are not in the quarterfinals, I don't think. Yes, if they had been able to progress, then we can make a case and look at how best or how well they have performed. Then we can now make progressions or look at what can happen in the next fixtures. Yeah, so they were good, but sometimes it's not just about being good. It's about what you can do when you are given the opportunity. And unfortunately, they couldn't qualify, and so yeah,
they
were
couldn't
fine.
take their chances.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at today's contest. We
Sure.
have Osei Trichie SHS, we have Abetifi Presby, and Ganata SHS. That was the first contest. Yes, talk about it.
I think that when we spoke on the Twitter Spaces just yesterday, we all said that this was going to be an open contest, which meant that any of the three schools who were present could at any point in time win. And so, just like we said, we were expecting it. Actually, we didn't even expect it to be this interesting and competitive. But we can show everybody who was here can realize that or can attest to the fact that they gave us a good contest. It kept everyone on their feet, and that is what the National Science and Maths quiz is supposed to do. Aside the fact that we are all learning from one thing or another, but it's just supposed to keep us on our feet. Just give us a different vibe or different feeling from whatever we're experiencing. So it was a good contest. Abetifi Presby was exceptional. They won by just 1 point, 51-50 against Osei Trichie. I think that was a solid performance. That is what we expect from the National Science and Maths quiz, and not even just for the big schools in quote, but it has showed you that every other school now can do better and can put you on your toes if they want to. Yeah.
I believe Okes had the most impressive run coming into the quarterfinals. How did you feel for them?
I think that just like I said, so coming to the quarterfinals, it's not just about how good you have been. It's about your strength as a team and the kind of questions that are coming and the people you are competing against. Because if you are exceptionally good and you are in a contest where the other schools are also picking up points, then what it means is that you may not get the points that you want. So I think that it's about how good all the schools have been in the quarterfinals. They've all been exceptionally brilliant, and that's what the Science and Maths quiz is about. So I think that, yes, even though they had probably a very good run, Abetifi Presby also had a very good run coming to the...
Sure.
Yeah, I think especially Ganata also had a good run coming in. So for all the three schools, they were exceptional, and that is what we were all expecting to see. Yeah.
Okay. Anjali, let's look at St. Hubert Seminary SHS, Tamale SHS, your former school, and Mfansipem.
Okay, so St. Hubert Tamas Kubuchi. For that contest, I was actually anticipating to see who would win, because judging from the 1/8 that all three schools had, they barely won. Like they won by chance, if I should say, because they didn't really win with very high points, and then at some points the opponents were leading and all of that. So I was actually expecting to see who would win, and I guess it wasn't really that much of a close contest because Butcher was leading, I guess, right from the start, even though at the end St. Hubert's picked up. And yeah, that moment was very exhilarating in the auditorium because it got to a point where there was barely like 3 points gap and there was a riddle more, and everybody was like, would they pick it? Are we going to break a tie? So that contest was like really interesting, and yeah.
Eddie, yes, you
I
can
think
add up.
Tamale have also actually done well. Looking at, so based on projections from the 1/8, they won by 31 points. And a lot of people said that that wasn't a very good score because they actually were trailing until the last round where they picked up the riddle and then they won by 31 points. I think that coming into this this quarterfinals, a lot of people actually were not expecting them to do so well because of the precedence. That was what happened in the 1/8. So even for them to get 38 points and the fact that they were competing with Infante Payment, St. Hubert, I think that they have improved, or they did their homework well, because if you had watched them in the 1/8, you would have said, or you'd have written, like you won't have anything to write like about them because they were not necessarily good. It's just by luck.
Luck in
Yes,
this contest.
In quotes.
Sure.
In quotes, please. It's just by luck that they were able to win, and they were in that period. They were the only seeded school that were able to maintain their seed. So coming into this, I think that they actually did, even though they lost today by 38 points, it's an improvement from what we saw in the 1/8, and that is what I'm seeing with almost all the schools that have competed today. I think that they've all improved from where they were in the previous contest and where we are now. So that is good news. Yeah.
Okay. Comments coming from Twitter. Boche escaped agenda today, but we go again next time, from Summer Boy. Okay. Mr. Friye says Prempeh won with 47 points. Okes went home with 50 points. Penny the penny. They performed very poor today. And Bra and Ajewa. Well, Maoli today. The girls no go come with you. Okay. Yeah, you can talk about the Osei Triche SHS Abetifi Presby Ghanata contest.
Okay, so for that contest, actually, I was expecting that Osei Triche would win. Looking at
myself.
Yeah, looking
at Benjamin.
Yeah, they were really impressive for me this year. Right from their first contest, they really did very well. So I was actually expecting them to win, but then that contest was very, very close. At some point, you couldn't even tell who was going to win. But then Abetifi Presby really did very well. I was really impressed with their performance today. Kanata, I don't know what happened to them getting to the ending parts. Their true or false, I think they started messing up a little. And then it got to a point that the gap between them and Abetifi Presby was so much. But then it was a really impressive contest. The first quarterfinals beginning with a bang. We are looking forward to the next quarterfinal contest.
Okay. Is there a special school, like a school that you are looking up to in the next round?
I think that my focus now is going to be on 2 schools, and going to the next round of the next contest. That's going to be that is Accra Academy and Presec Legon.
Accra Academy
yes,
and Presec. Why is everybody writing Pope Jones off?
No. Well, I mean, Pope Jones is a rival school, no doubt, but I don't think that they have the
energy,
capacity,
horsepower
to I mean, they can pull a surprise, no doubt, and that's what the National Science and Maths quiz is about. If they're able to pull surprises, that's good news. It helps the competition. It's very good. But I think that looking at what I saw from the 1/8, especially with Accra Academy, I'm looking at how they will rally their strength against Presec, because they all seem to have some uniqueness in how they do their things, and particularly Accra Academy. Maybe after the quarterfinals, I can make a projection to. Mr. Yankee doesn't like projections, but I'm going to say this again. I can make a projection to who I think can be in the finals.
Okay.
Yes, I think those are the 2 schools I'm looking at: Accra Academy and Presec. I mean, after that contest, then I will know how things are going to go about from there. Yeah.
Anjali, do you have some individuals that have impressed you?
Okay.
So far, looking
at the fixtures for the quarterfinals, I'm actually looking forward to Opokuware School. I'm looking forward to their contest to see what.
I'm talking about individuals.
Oh, individuals,
Yes.
as in like contestants.
Yes, contestants.
To pick out the contestants. Okay, to me it's so early to single out a particular contestant, because I think so far most of the schools have displayed very serious teamwork, so it's even difficult to choose one particular person that has really stood out yet. Maybe I might be able to tell going forward, looking at the semi-finals. Yeah.
What is happening to the girls' schools? You know we have a prize for them, and it doesn't seem anybody is clinging to it.
Yes, so today I was actually thinking about it, that now that most of our girls' schools are gone, what's going to happen to that prize?
Yes.
And I honestly don't really know what's happening to the girls' school. But if we look at the statistics over the years, it's like the boys' school have, to use the word, taking NSMQ World Cup. Like, they really put in a lot of effort
Are
in
you sure
NSMQ.
Gehe doesn't take the NSMQ World Cup in quotes?
Well, I know some people from Gehe, and from what I learned, most of them are more focused on WASI. They don't really take it. Most of the time, they just be like, let's go and get ourselves seeded. That's majorly their motto. From what I've heard from my friends in Wesley Girls, they are mostly focused on WASI. But I think they are trying their best to give more attention to NSMQ. But looking at the statistics, the boys' school mainly give a lot of, I don't know if they found a way to balance between WASI and NSMQ, but then a school like Presec, for instance, their consistency in the NSMQ has been remarkable.
And they are doing well in WASI.
Yes, they're also doing very well in WASI. So I think everybody should learn from Presec.
Okay, so let's look at tomorrow's contest. We have Ghana SHS Koforidua. We have St. James Seminary, the pride of the Bunos. Kumasi Sectec. Let's talk about it.
I think that, for me, it's a straight. And I'm going to make.
You're making bold.
I'm going to make it again.
predictions.
Thank you for
Well.
giving me for this one. I'm thanking those that. I mean, that should have been the Pesco slot.
Good.
Yes, St. Peter's. That's what I mean. But regardless, I think I've seen the St. James team, and just like she said, she mentioned something, and I want to reiterate that one thing that has worked very well for most of the schools is the teamwork. Because if you are able to work as a team, it helps you. I think the quiz is not just about individual brilliance and how good you think you can answer questions. If you work as a team and you put your heads together, you will do well. So I think that for me, I see St. James going through. If the other schools like Ghana SHS Koforidua, I saw their 1/8. It wasn't really the best, I mean, in terms of output. But if they can do their homework well and come tomorrow, they will pick up the questions that they need to pick and do well. Maybe we can be in for a very good contest. But aside that, if not, I see a straight St. James.
What is St. James doing right this time? They haven't had this,
Yeah,
you know,
I think that, and it's not even just St. James. I think that this year in particular, or in general, we've seen a
my
lot.
Trichie is out.
Yeah, no, but you see, that's the point. Look at where they are now. APSEC from Abitifi Presby, they are in the semis for the very first time. They don't even get seeded to even come to think about going to the semis. So I think that generally this year on a whole, most of the schools, the less known schools or the smaller schools have done exceptionally well. It just shows that people are beginning to understand training and what it involves in science and maths quiz, and the fact that they are also learning from how other schools are doing it. I remember one time before the science and maths quiz started, we spoke about why smaller schools are not doing well. And one of the things that we said was that you need to learn from the big schools, learn what they are doing right, and pick up some of their points and help them. And I think that's what is working. So for me, I think it's a St. James win until maybe the other schools, Ganata and Kumasi Sectec, do their bidding well. I think it will still be a St. James win.
You talk about less endowed schools a lot. You think about it, I'm coming.
Okay.
Anjali, right now, Boche, they've gotten their seat. Should they relax?
Of course not.
Of course not.
I don't think they should relax if they want to go very far, because the way things are going, it's like everybody's doing their homework. So if you slack, you go home at this point.
Okay. Andy, what I was saying is that haven't we overgeneralized that word, less endowed schools? Because some of the schools that are not performing are very big.
Yeah, I think that I wasn't even looking at it from how endowed they
You're talking about
Yeah, I was looking at it from
performance.
in terms of the Hall of Fame in terms of the non-science and math schools, and the schools that we mentioned as almost doing like exceptionally well. So when I say the smaller schools, I mean that those who have not probably won it before, or those who do not even get seeded and all that. Those are the schools I was referring to. I mean, there are schools who may not have won the NSMQ before, but have more facilities and things than others. Yeah, that is not the argument. I think my point is about looking at it from the Hall of Fame for science and math schools, the schools that may not have won it before. So that's my angle. Yeah. So
okay, Anjali, let's go into Kumasi High School, St. Francis Xavier Junior Seminary, and Bishop Herman College. Biheko.
Okay, so for that contest, I actually don't have a school that I'm predicting to win. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen because these schools, should I say, it's been a while since they've been seeded. It's been a while since we've seen them at this stage. And we're actually expecting a very good performance from them. And yeah, let's see who wins. Kumasi High School, I know are going to come here with a lot of people and kind of make a lot of noise.
Just like a prep did today.
Yes, but I mean, they've also been on points this year. I was actually impressed with their performance, the prelims, one needs. Like, it's like everybody's doing their homework now. Schools that you'd initially not expect to maybe do so well, judging from their past track record, I think they are proving to us that the past is not the history. They are showing to us that they are writing a new future. But yeah, we are expecting a lot from that contest.
Talking about support, do you think that the amount of support you get from the audience has any bearing on their contest? You hold on for me. Let me go to Andy. Andy, Kumasi High School, St. Francis Xavier, Bishop Herman.
I think that is for me, it's an open contest.
Why do you breathe like that?
Yeah, for me, it's an open contest. It will just be like the first contest we had today. I think that it could go any ways. Anybody or any of the schools can do also, provided that they put up a very good performance. So, for me, it could go any way. I do not necessarily have a personal favorite or a personal alliance with any of them. I think that it's an open call. It's an open call. Anybody can go through. Yeah.
Okay, so back to my question.
Okay, so personally, with the
you have been on the stage before.
Yeah. Yes, I've been on stage, and first of all, I can tell you firsthand that your opponent school making a lot of noise can actually give you a lot of pressure.
Pressure?
Like serious pressure.
Wow.
Because it's like any small thing they do, then there's somebody clapping for them, and then it's like the pressure is building because you feel like you really have to do something. And I also think that the jubilation and all of that also affects the contestants of the school for whom they are jubilating.
Oh.
Because it's like they're also under pressure that there are people here who are looking up for me to uphold the dignity of my school. If I slack, it's not going to be easy for me.
So do you believe that is what happened to Unipra?
That's Unipra contest. Honestly, I don't really know what went wrong with them, but from the video trending on social media, I think their teamwork might have been a little shaky as well. Because at some point,
that's what I'm asking. If probably they were under pressure from the audience.
Yeah, I really think that the pressure from the audience affects the contestants because it's like there's so much. At some point, there's so much noise, and first of all, your mind needs to be calm and to think. Already coming into the contest, you are hot. Like everybody is looking up to you. Old boys, headmasters, your teachers, the people who have trained you over the years. You yourself, you have expectations from yourself. Then you come and sit down. You are trying to calm down. Then there's a whole crowd going, "Hey!" They are singing Jamba, everything. You are like, "God, can they just keep quiet for a bit?" And then it's like there's just so much pressure. It's like the more they are clapping, it's like you that you're on stage, you're like, "God, please, this question, don't let me miss it." Because sitting on the stage, it takes a lot. That's why I really respect some of these contestants to be able to sit through. I think my contest like this with St. Augustine's, it was a similar thing. There were a lot of St. Augustine boys in the auditorium, and at some points, I was literally like praying, "God, please, this shoe of force, this shoe of force, I don't want to miss," because it was really that intense, and everybody's looking up to you, and all you're just praying for is that, let me just answer this question. You're just waiting for, when will the contest finish? When will I win? When will I go and sit down? Because there's just so much expectations, and there's a whole social media fandom as well. There's also expectations from them that you have to win, aside those in the auditorium.
Okay, all right, okay. Eddie, your last words.
I think that just like we had a very good contest today, I'm expecting that tomorrow, God willing, we also have very good contest. And may the best schools win. We are wishing them the very best. A major thing to those who will be here tomorrow to watch, we want them to comport themselves above all. And I think that's what we need, especially to the schools that will come in their numbers. If just like she's saying, if you come in your numbers and you cheer your school on, it has an effect psychologically even on every other person around you. So we are expecting a very good contest tomorrow. Supporters or fans who come, please just relax, take it easy, just share, and then we are expecting to have a good
conversation is getting interesting,
Yeah.
but that's all we could do for today. Okay, thank you, cherished viewers. Before we go, I would like to remind you that the 2022 edition of the National Science and Maths Quiz is proudly sponsored by the Ghana Education Service in partnership with Absa Bank and supported by Joy News, Well, Dano Milk, Prudential Life Insurance Ghana, Etel Tigo, Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, Newmont Ghana, Accra College of Medicine, Academic City University, YFM, and Studio HD. Thank you.